All right, so I want to welcome just about everybody that started this class is still active, still doing work. A couple of you, have not, but for the most part, the majority of y'all are still working, so that's great. I want to, just go over a couple of items concerning the final exam, the end of the class, things like that. Uh, I create things for the course so I don't have to answer 80 emails, ask the same questions. I'm a troubleshooter, I'm a problem solver. And so most of your questions can be answered if you would just look. Not all of them, but most of them can be. Now, not questions about, you know, how to do something. That's a little different. I mean, some of those can, but as far as, how do I do the final exam? Where do I get proctors? I mean, it's there. What can I take to the final exam? It's there. I'm going to go over where to find things, and I'm also going to go over, what to do. But at some point, my goal as a teacher is to prepare my students to be self-sufficient learners. And there's nothing wrong with asking questions, but sometimes your answers can be found with just a little digging. Okay, and that's part of being a good employee. Okay, good at your job. I mean, things like that. So anyway, some questions need to be asked. Some there's posted information about them. So we have one test and the final left. The final is due June 28th. The final must be proctored. You must pass the final in order to pass the class. Does not matter what your average is. I know it may put a lot of pressure on you, but there are ways, in my opinion, to alleviate your pressure. Okay, so I don't want to get too off track here, so I want to stay focused. First thing I would do to help prepare for that final is to get your other exam completed prior to Wednesday, if you can. Okay, it's due on Wednesday, but doesn't mean you have to wait till Wednesday. So if you can kind of work ahead to give yourself 2 days to prepare for the final, then I would suggest that. There are roughly, I don't know, I forget, 25, 26, 27 questions on the final, I forget. Um, it is very similar to the practice. It comes from the same questions as the practice does, same topics. Um, there are links and information for all this stuff in the proctored final exam information tab. That's where I post stuff so you can read and figure out what all you can bring, as far as your notes or cheat sheet, whatever you want to call it. You can put anything you want to on that cheat sheet. It's open, whatever. So you got about 25 to 30 questions on the final, very similar to the review. The way I would practice, okay, to help alleviate your anxiety, I would work the review without any help at all. I'm talking no book, not even your notes. Go through and then mark the questions that you didn't know how to do or that you did wrong. Then that's how you would create your notes or your cheat sheet based on information that you don't really remember or need a little help with. Then use that cheat sheet and sit down again, maybe even go somewhere else, get out of your house and log in, take that review with your cheat sheet and your calculator and your scratch paper, and that's it. And then that's how you practice. Work on things you miss. So if you're getting things right, you don't need to spend a lot of time on them. What you need to spend a lot of time on are things you're having trouble with. And then in the meantime, if you're really stuck and don't know what to do, you can ask me. Now, a lot of mistakes, not a lot, but many are from rounding. I usually correct that, but there is a difference between rounding, too much too early and then rounding to the incorrect decimal place. Okay, the hundreds place is 2 places, the tenths place is 1 place. So try to get that, correct. But that's what I suggest you do. Now, once you go to the proctored final exam info, there are links to testing centers. You sign up for an appointment online at most of them. I know at BCTC, it's all done online. I do not call a testing center because they're not going to call you back, odds are. They're busy. They don't return phone calls. Online, unless they specifically tell you to call them to set up an appointment. Some smaller campuses, that's what they require. But at BCTC, it's all done online. Go to your final, know what you got to bring with you. Make sure you got your calculator. Make sure also you have your username and password, because your username and password are sometimes you forget because they're autosave. Sorry, someone just rang my doorbell and knocked on my door. So make sure you know that, because I've seen students when I was proctoring would forget their username and their password, and then they have to go back and reset everything. Okay, so that's something important. So that's about all I can think of. The rest is up to you. Now, what you don't want to do is you don't want to wait till an hour before the final to do your review. I mean, that's ridiculous. How are you going to be successful that way? That's what I normally see for students that fail the final. They don't spend time reviewing, and they don't practice enough, which is the same thing as not spending time reviewing. So don't do that. Okay, don't procrastinate it and think, okay, I can take this practice an hour before, because you're not going to know what to put on your cheat sheet. You're not going to know what you need to work on. So most of the time when students fail the final, it's because they didn't prepare. I can see that. I know. I look back and see when they've done all their work. So for you all that like to wait till the last minute, you're risking, a failing grade. Don't do that. Okay, get that stuff done early and practice. So that's about all I got as far as what to help you with the final. But read the information I've posted. Don't wait till the last minute to get an appointment. And they are due June 28th. I cannot extend that. My grades are due, right after that. So, I can't extend that because I have another class that starts on Monday. So, I'm moving on. So June 28th, firm. Now you can take it to 27th to 26th. Don't forget about ProctorU. You can take it at home if you have a webcam. You got to pay extra, but there's a link for that as well. So, take care of this, and good luck to you.